Welcome back to another episode of The Deck. On The Deck, we challenge artists and musicians to think outside of their writing process by giving them cues for lyrics, arrangement, and instruments. And you, the audience, can have a new vantage point into the songwriting process. Let's meet today's artist.
An early memory is hearing One Fine Day. I think it was the chiffons, but those opening opening piano octaves, and then just the really tight female harmonies throughout. I really love it. It's just so insistent, you know, one fine day you're gonna want me. That's the theme of my life.
Why?
Oh, the lifelong search for love, for a romantic partner, someone to create with, as well as just to kind of enjoy life with. It's definitely in a lot of my music, that search. That sort of junior high or middle school, just pull into yourself in your room and, you know, put a pillow over your head or something. I was discovering the Beatles when I was in junior high, you know, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and so I was really into the mid '60s albums, Rubber Soul and Revolver, and somewhat Sgt. Pepper's, but more so Rubber Soul and Revolver. There's some really good kind of melancholy tunes on both of those that I got into. You Won't See Me, I Need You, which is actually from the Help soundtrack. It was one of my favorites. I've always been a big George fan. And then For No One from Revolver, just over and over and over and over again. The melody, you know, the Paul's melodies are normally so just exuberant and fun, but occasionally he's got the real melancholy ones. You know, it's your day breaks, your mind aches. You know, it's just this sort of sigh kind of thing that, you know, any 8th or 9th grader is going to identify with. Just like, life is just so hard. But I was also, being a piano student, I was classically trained in piano, so I was getting into a lot of classical music, especially Debussy and Ravel, the Impressionist composers. And I would really disappear into their music a lot, either listening to it on the radio or back when you still bought CDs. You could go to stores and there would be these big bargain bins of CDs for like 99 cents, and I would just geek out over Chopin, Debussy, Ravel, Rachmaninoff, Gershwin.
All right, we're here with John Willis today. We're gonna see what the cards have to offer. Are you?
The cards don't lie.
Are you ready to do this?
Sure.
You know the rules. Where do you want to start? Lyrics, arrangement, or instruments?
Arrangements are always like the easiest for me. So lyrics are something that I struggle with. So I'll start with lyrics. Just jump right in. Fighting should be prominent in the song. Okay. All right.
Do you feel like you can
Get a little aggressive.
work up something?
Yeah.
Something nasty.
Frothy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets to get tough.
All right. We can get tough. Let's go for another lyric.
Sing about dressing up, going out on the town. I'm gonna get dressed up and fight somebody.
Sounds like it's working so far.
Okay. Song should ask a question. Who am I gonna have to fight once I get dressed up? It'll come. Let's see. Now let's move on to the arrangement.
All right. Your comfort zone.
Yeah. Please be strings. Whisper a part of the lyric. Who am I gonna have to fight? Okay. Go for another arrangement.
Words. A spoken word
A
section.
la Chrissy Hind. I like her.
If you're already gonna whisper part of it.
She's got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's see. Something about instruments. Let's see. Use tremolo. I'm like a keyboard player, so I don't really have a use for tremolo. Another instrument, maybe. Use the mystery instrument.
You will not know what the mystery instrument is until you decide to keep that card.
Do I get a hint?
I don't know what the mystery instrument is yet either.
Is it an actual instrument?
It is an actual.
It's not attached to any person's body.
That is correct.
Okay, good. That is a little frightening.
It's not attached to someone's body.
Okay, let's go back to the safe zone of arrangements. Incorporate an app into the song. I love that. I love that. Getting with the technologies.
You can use your online banking app. You can whisper your balance.
Exactly. Yeah, that'll be a fight. Zero. Okay, I'm gonna draw a purple instrument card. Oh, I like that.
Use a harmonica.
Oh, is there a harmonica app on my smartphone?
There
You just,
probably
like,
is.
blow into the something. No,
There very well could be.
that doesn't exist. But yeah, we'll keep that. That'll. Okay. So I'm definitely into using a harmonica. Let me. I'm gonna turn this one over.
All right. So that's
So I have to pick another one.
So whatever you turn at this moment, you're stuck with. You still have the option to remove all of these and turn them over, but what you end up with, you end up with.
This is an instrument.
That is an instrument card, and it's 100% yours.
That's 100% wrong.
No keyboards can be used.
No. You suck this deck.
Of course we did.
Have you heard any of my music?
I've heard pretty much all of your music.
And
It's very keyboard and piano friendly, I would say.
dependent. I'm codependently keyboardist. Orange. I'm gonna try. This is like
What do
my.
you have to turn? You have to burn something to turn something.
What?
'Cause you-
Turn or burn?
You've got
No, I left that a long time ago.
You've got 3 cards out. You've got 3 cards out.
Okay,
So-
I've already been screwed here, so I'm not gonna get screwed with like some sort of like oatmeal canister with some beans in it that I have to shake or something.
That might be the instrument.
Bye.
All
Alright,
right.
so let's see. Please.
Hand claps should be prominent.
Hey, I won.
How do you feel about these cards? With hand claps, you seem to be into that. You know,
I mean, that's-
it's a good thing.
A hand clap. Who?
It's a good thing because you
Everybody
have to be
loves
into
a
that.
hand clap.
You have to be into this and this. Because
Yeah.
those were replacements. So you're stuck here.
Could it be hand slaps? Like the fighting could actually be me slapping someone.
It very well
Like
could.
whoever put the no keyboards can be used. Who's that? That'll
I
a
welcome
nice
that.
percussive right to the jawbone.
It might have been me that right now. Just don't knock me off your deck.
Right. Deck. We'll work around keyboards. I sort of play guitar.
You still have an option to replace this. You still have an option to replace any of those if there's something that bothers you.
But as far as the other elements, it's looking like a fun kind of song. I'm inspired to kind of go back and listen to a lot of like roots blues music where harmonica is really prominent. Yeah, whispering. Whispering can be fun. You know, it can be almost used percussively. You know.
rather than, Chrissy Hine would use it really seductively.
You don't feel seductive.
I can seduce.
You're dressing
from
up.
time to time. Yeah, I get dressed up and go out on the town and whisper and seduce and fight. And I think it's gonna be a fun song.
So it looks like we're onto something here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's the deck. I look forward to hearing what you come up with.
I do too.
Let's see how the songwriting process is going.
Well, I can be good and brave, but I need you to be strong. Yet sentimental, I promise to behave. But when I'm working on a song, you should know I'm downright temperamental. Don't you have some place else to be? Why won't you stop staring at me?
The harmonica thing really intrigued me first off. For some reason that really stuck out to me. And so I got to turn my little like ethnomusicologist's brain on and built a huge playlist of music with harmonicas on it on Spotify, and just listened to all the different types of harmonicas and all the different techniques and everything that are applied, and got really inspired by that. And got all kinds of different ideas for just sound and textural elements. But then the longer I listened to the playlist, the more I thought, oh, this needs to be a blues song.
That we really are enough. We are enough.
Well, this challenge, it comes at a really good time. The concept of enough was something that would just kind of I kept hearing that word all over the place. And then whenever I drew those cards, it was like it all just kind of lined up, like this is the song. And so a lot of the big questions that I've been kind of getting some answers to finally in my life, am I good enough? Is this enough? And then starting to live into that, exploring, dating, single life in your 30s. I'll be 35 in a week. And you have to have a certain amount of confidence and a certain amount of vulnerability to go out and be a single person, and to go out, to be yourself, but also to go out and meet somebody if you're actively doing that. So I'm dating around and having some successes and some failures, and so the first part of the verse is sort of about a relationship that was very short-lived, that was very sweet, and how it was earlier in the year, and it gave me a taste of what I would like to be in. It didn't work out, the timing was wrong, he was moving away, but it gave me a taste of like what would be good enough, and then the second part of that verse is about just kind of like being out, being a person about town, and how oftentimes a really good night still ends with you walking to your car or walking to your apartment by yourself, and that can be kind of deflating unless you walk away knowing like I really was, I gave my all there, I enjoyed every bit of whatever it was that I was doing, and I'm walking home with glitter on my boots. That line is something that I would never have considered putting in a song before, but it needed to be in here. And there was a party actually when I got home, and the next day I went to put on the boots I had worn the night before, and there was glitter all over them. And then also just the concept of being enough, like I'm enough on my own, I can do this, which is like that whole self-worth thing's been a big thing for me. And then also just enjoying a moment with someone and having just the fact that we're together be enough. There's a Wallace Stevens poem that like it's just this beautiful thing about the self and imagination and any kind of connection to some great universal force or whatever. And the final line just says, in which being there together is enough. And then when I got the idea to base it around just a basic blues pattern or whatever, then I got the idea for the verses. You know, the finding your way to some sort of self-worth, you know, to being enough. That's kind of a bluesy type concept. And then also wondering how you fit in with the person that you're, you know, that you're fitting with, or wondering if the person that you want to be with finds you attractive enough or desirable enough or worth it enough. So anyway, that's what this song does. And then the second verse is just sort of more of that, of just, this is what my life looks like being enough on my own. You know, I need my notebook and a pen and a French press of coffee, and, you know, my phone, you know, helps, but, you know, I'm pretty content just with my writing and with my yoga practice and some books. Okay. All right.
Why don't you go fast?
Go ahead and reverse the warrior on an exhale. Open up the front of the body. Open up the right side of the body. Good. Touch your hips. Sliding square to the hips, pulling into the right heel, grounding to the left big toe and heel. Good.
Let's see how John Willis is doing in the studio.
So anyway, this is the app. It's a free version of a Shruti box called Tambura Lite. Tambura is the drone instrument that you hear a lot in classical and Indian music. It's what starts off Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles. So I guess that's where my obsession with classical Indian music began, and then it went to Ravi Shankar and all that lovely stuff. So anyway, I thought it would be neat, since this already has kind of a world music flair to it, the song does, to include a little bit of an Indian drone on it. And I also was familiar with this app because, I don't know, somewhere I stumbled on it. So anyway, you can select your pitch, and then you select the way that the drone works, whether it's at the interval of a fourth or a fifth or a second. So I'm going to do a fifth because that's going to work best in the song. So this is like playing a C and a G and alternating between them. It sounds like this. Okay, so that's kind of the main overall. Well, we're cobbling it together. It's been a fun experience, actually. Having to write and record away from a piano, which is kind of my home base for writing and everything. But it's forced me to focus a little more on the form of the song as well as the overall sound palette, you know, because I kind of normally write from the piano and everything branches out of there, sort of like a composer or something. But this is forcing me to be a little more rootsy, so that's cool.
We are enough. 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 So what will you bring to make me feel good enough? That we are enough to let our enemies be. Only protect us. What is shit?
The first time that I ever do vocal takes with a new song, it's really frustrating because unless I've done a lot of rehearsing of the song before, or if it's one that I've been playing out before, sometimes the words or the notes don't quite sit quite right, you know, in the melody. So there's been a little bit of experimentation. I actually had to do a rewrite of the verses because the Dylan-esque way that I was trying to communicate what I was saying just didn't work. It was too busy with the beat and with what the guitar is doing as kind of a busy noodly kind of thing. It was just becoming a really messy,
Too many syllables.
yeah, notey wordy song. So I spent some time between last session and tonight reworking it. I think it works. I like it. I think that it's a little more emphatic, hits home a little more. Something I'm always working on is using fewer words. That's it.
Let's check out John's video.
We are enough. We are enough. These rooms so full of stuff. Just one more thing to make me feel good enough.
what is happening on your innermost self is worthy of your entire life.
Well, you just heard enough by John Willis. Tune in next month for another exciting episode of The Deck. What do you mean? So, so the first shot was like, are you filming now?
Yeah, my cat's reaching for you, which is kind of cool.
All right, so